Find out more about cool animals and collect your own Wild Kratts creature powers. Go to the Wild Kratts website at pbskids.org. We'll see you there!
Hi, I'm Mark Wahlberg. Join Antiques Roadshow on our search for America's hidden treasures.
There are a lot of fakes on the market. The question every time you see one is this real or is it not real?
To a high-end interior designer, obelisks are the cat's meow.
Holy moly! Next time from San Diego, California on Antiques Roadshow.
Tonight at 8.
You're watching WSIU Carbondale, WUSI only.
River Region Evening Edition is made possible through the membership support of viewers like you, with additional support from Country Insurance and Financial Services and WSIL TV3.
Now on River Region Evening Edition. People sift through the rubble of destroyed homes after tornadoes tear through southern Illinois. A two-car collision in Carbondale leaves a woman trapped and seriously injured in her vehicle. And how late storm warnings from SIU could have put students in danger.
Live from the campus of Southern Illinois University Carbondale. Bringing you the news from around the world and across the River Region. This is the Evening Edition.
Tornadoes ripped across Illinois yesterday, leaving 6 people dead and between 150 and 200 people injured statewide. Thank you for joining us. I'm Taylor Burrell.
And I'm Zach Barrett. More than 60 tornadoes were recorded in the state. The twisters killed 5 people in southern Illinois and a 6th person in Washington east of Peoria. Hundreds of homes and businesses were damaged or destroyed. The governor visited communities hardest hit across the state, including Washington, Diamond, Gifford, and he is scheduled to arrive in the Mesa County town of Brookport at any time now. Evening Edition reporter Devin Kidd spent most of the day in Brookport and joins us live from our newsroom. What did you find, Devin?
To put it simply, Zach and Taylor, a wide area of heavy damage and people in shock at what this ferocious storm did to this quiet little town. You can find flattened homes, downed power lines, and many residents left needing to rebuild. The National Weather Service says an estimated F2 twister directly hit the community around 3 p.m. yesterday. Dozens of people were hurt and 3 died in the storm.
Everybody said one sounds like a freight train. But I'll tell you what, it was mighty, mighty quiet.
Resident Robert Barnes lost his home but amazingly walked away without a scratch.
When it did hit, it blowed me down on the side. I missed the coffee table about that far.
The twister also heavily damaged the downtown area and destroyed Joe Howard's forklift business. He says the entire tragedy has just made him sick.
We've been in business here 25 years or so, and it just ended in tragedy.
But even with all the death and destruction in this little town, the community has quickly come together to start the rebuilding process and hopefully return to their once normal lives.
Everybody's just coming together like we do here in Brookport. We're a strong community, and we're here for everybody, so it'll take a while for it to get back to normal and clean up the mess and stuff, but we're Brookport and we're strong and we'll make it through it.
State police have identified the 3 victims lost in the storm as 58-year-old Kathy George, 56-year-old Robert Harmon, and 63-year-old Shalita Burris. All residents missing have been accounted for. Reporting live in the newsroom, I'm Devin Kidd.
Another southern Illinois town that was slammed with death and destruction is New Minden in Washington County near Nashville. 10 houses were destroyed in the town of 250 people. 2 people lost their lives in the storm. We continue our coverage with Evening Edition reporter Austin Bean.
Everywhere you look, there's damage, damage, and more damage. The small town of New Minden, Illinois is littered with the remains of homes and businesses after being hit Sunday afternoon by an EF4 tornado.
Makes me sick. Makes me feel real bad and sad.
Here in New Minden, destruction is everywhere, but it's not the destruction that is the most painful. It's the loss of memories. In this house just west of New Minden, the homeowner suffered a direct hit from the tornado as it passed. The homeowner came out safe, but the home, unfortunately, did not. Yet while it is a tough day for the community, the town is already starting to rebuild. Less than 24 hours from when the storm first touched down, the volunteers are already surrounding the town with saws and hammers, clearing out debris of buildings like the St. John's Lutheran Church just north of town. In the storm, the steeple blew off, throwing the bell into the grounds of the church. Yet, despite the destruction, Pastor Tim Mueller is still thankful for everything he still has.
We're mainly concerned about the people, and that the church is people, and a house of worship is a place where the people gather. So you think about what's really important, and a building is good, it's a nice place, but it's not as important as the people who meet there.
From New Minden, for River Region Evening Edition, I'm Austin Bean.
Meteorologists say the tornado that hit New Minden has winds of more than 170 miles an hour. It was part of the larger system that stretched across the Midwest. It wasn't just here in Illinois. Homes and businesses across Indiana remain without power after Sunday's tornadoes and severe thunderstorms. Wind gusts of up to 86 miles per hour swept northwestern Indiana, damaging 3 transmission towers and snapping more than 120 utility poles. An estimated 68,000 people woke up to no electricity in the Hoosier State this morning.
A woman was seriously injured in an accident this morning in Carbondale. This silver Ford Taurus was struck by a minivan as it crossed the intersection of Pleasant Hill and McClafferty roads. The woman was trapped inside of the car when the Carbondale police and fire crews arrived. Officers said she was conscious, but it took crews roughly 10 minutes to remove the car's door so EMTs could tend to her wounds. She was transferred to the Memorial Hospital in Carbondale this morning. The cause of her crash is currently unclear. The U.S. and British military are continuing to do all they can to assist millions of Filipinos during the aftermath of the super typhoon Haiyan. Millions have been left hungry and homeless after the typhoon hit the midsection of the Filipinos more than a week ago. Over 9,000 American troops have been supporting the operation in the Philippines, delivering more than 6,000 pounds of relief supplies. Along with nearly 4,000 deaths, about 3 million people have been displaced. The U.S. and British militaries are continuing to bring relief to those in need.
4 gunmen from the Kenyan mall attack have been identified. A Western official says that all 4 of the Somali ethnicity with no links to the U.S. or the U.K. The FBI is analyzing remains believed to be those of the attackers. Kenyan officials say that nearly 70 people were killed by the attack and 24 people still unaccounted for. Illinois will hold a moment of silence today in remembrance of the late President John F. Kennedy. This week marks the 50th anniversary of President Kennedy's death. The statewide moment of silence will occur this Friday, November 22nd at 1 p.m. The state has ordered the flags at all state facilities be flown at half-staff. Governor Pat Quinn says JFK's life is an inspiration and should encourage people to shun violence.
Well, Taylor, it cooled down a bit from yesterday.
Yes, it did. It may be the best considering the storms we had from yesterday. Weathercaster Loretta Cruz is here with our first look at weather.
Taylor, it has cooled down quite a bit, especially since yesterday we saw a high of about 75 degrees, and that will really help this warm front that we're on the rear end of with the recovery effort. As you can see here, beautiful day today, and that is helping people all across the state who are outside right now trying to help out in New Minden and Brookport. But for tonight, we can expect an overnight low of 31 degrees, going to cool down a bit, but it should bump up back in time for tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow morning, we're going to wake up to about 40 degrees, and by midday, 47. Like I said before, most of the rain in our region has gotten out of Mother Nature's system, and we're expecting a pretty calm next couple of days. So get out while you can, and maybe if you can help out in any way, I'm sure it would be appreciated. But meanwhile, Kaya, Taylor, back to you.
Thank you, Loretto. A delay from SIU's mobile weather alerts could have put students in a dangerous situation as tornadoes tore through southern Illinois.
That's next, plus how SIU is kicking off a campus-wide competition for National Recycling Day.
We have a ceramic artist who balanced hard and soft mediums to create exquisite form, and another artist who many portraits gets large-scale commissions around the world.
This season of Expressions is sponsored by Pheasant Hollow Winery and by Calico Country Sew and Vac.
Thursday at 9.
The Southern Illinois Radio Information Service features daily recordings of area newspapers in the WSIU coverage area for listeners who are blind, visually impaired, or print disabled. Volunteers play an important role at Cirrus. Why not consider becoming a Cirrus volunteer reader? If you would like to learn more, call 618-453-2808. Cirrus is supported by WSIU, the Illinois State Library, and the United Way. Call 618-453-2808.
On the next WSIU in Focus, acclaimed Cherokee storyteller Robert Lewis takes a personal tour of the Trail of Tears as it winds across the hills and valleys of southern Illinois. The forced removal of the Cherokee people from their homes in Georgia to what is now the state of Oklahoma in the 1830s is one of the darkest chapters in American history. Watch WSIU in Focus for a special look at the trail and how Illinois residents are preserving its history.
Thursday at 9:30.
Many students, faculty, and others depend on SIU alerts for information. But yesterday's alert about the storm came a little later than expected. Priscilla Kwayake has the story.
Campus was under a tornado warning during yesterday's tornado outbreak, but many students say they were not warned by the SIU alert system for more than a half hour. Speech communications major Jillian Keeney says she did not receive an alert until the storm was well underway.
I think I started seeing rain outside my window about 12:45, 1 o'clock yesterday, maybe like 30 minutes after we got the warning. And I thought maybe we should have gotten it a little beforehand.
Ben Newman of the SIU Police Department says the alert system is automatically triggered by the National Weather Service.
They need to update their system a little bit. 'Cause, like, I should not be getting a warning or a text after the fact. I should be getting it right away so I can take proper coverage.
I'm Priscilla Kwache from River Region Evening Edition.
SIU is currently working on a monthly test message to ensure that the alert system works properly in the future.
Students are invited to join SIU Sustainability for a campus challenge. Mildrea has the story.
The Start Seeing Recycling competition began Friday on America Recycles Day and will continue through the month of November. The bins can be found all over campus, and the students who finds the most recycling bins on campus will win a nice prize.
You're just going to go on the website, click on that link I was talking about. You'll get a reporting form, it'll print it off, and you'll go around, keep that with you, and as you see a bin, write it down. Then when you're ready to submit it, go to the link that says Submit a Bin on our website, and you'll be able to fill out the form and hit submit, and I'll get that email directly.
Part of the event urges students to take the Saluki Sustainability Pledge, a promise with an incentive, Janet Donahue says.
And these are just, it's basically just pledging to say that you're part of the solution, that you're thinking about these things as part of the SIU community and will act accordingly.
Every bin submitted is an entry in the competition, which could win you a $50 or $25 Amazon gift card. With River Region Evening Edition, I'm Mildrea Hood.
Entries will be taken throughout November, and anyone is welcome to join the competition.
A Southern Illinois resident has been arrested in Tennessee after being accused of fatally stabbing a woman. The body of 66-year-old Barbara Beers was found Friday afternoon south of Marion. The Southern Illinoisan reported prosecutors in Williamson County charged 30-year-old Tamara Williams with 4 counts of first-degree murder.
Well, I'd say we earned the sunshine we had today. We'll find out how long it will be around.
And the Dow Jones Industrial rose above 16,000 for the first time briefly today, an all-time high. For the rest of the closing numbers, tune into the Nightly Business Report at 5:30.
Next time on Antiques Roadshow, we're highlighting treasures that survived natural disasters, fires, even heated battles.
Supposedly, it had been shot in several places.
It's too bad that Burl Ives melted away, but that's the problem when he's in a hot attic. I'm so glad it survived.
Me too.
You won't want to miss our special edition Antiques Roadshow Survivors.
Tonight at 7.
Hi, I'm Mark Wahlberg. Join Antiques Roadshow on our search for America's hidden treasures.
There are a lot of fakes on the market. The question every time you see one is this real or is it not real?
To a high-end interior designer, obelisks are the cat's meow.
Holy moly! Next time from San Diego, California on Antiques Roadshow.
Tonight at 8.
We're horse people, we're always going to have that in our blood.
I just feel real close to them.
You get to prove yourself against other tribes.
It's do or die time. They're going to lay it all on the line.
Anything can happen out there.
When you run that horse on the track, you're one, you're not two.
Indian Relay.
Tonight at 9.
And now the forecast for the river region. This is your evening edition weather.
Well, shortly after the storm rolled through our region yesterday, it seemed like Mother Nature threw up a truce flag. We saw 75-degree temperatures shortly after the storm rolled through yesterday afternoon, and as you can see behind me, the temperatures and conditions are continuing to cooperate, which will help out immensely with the recovery effort for most of this week. Right now, the temperature is 56 degrees with a dew point of 27, relative humidity at 33%. Winds, I would say a little gusty, but nothing compared to yesterday at about 13 miles an hour makes that 56 feel something more like 50 degrees. Today on Monday, November 18th of 2013, we saw a high of 57 degrees at about 1:25 this afternoon, a low of 30 degrees early this morning, and no precipitation yet today, which leaves our monthly precipitation extremely high, just over 5 inches. That actually broke a record for the month of November, which is just over 4.5. Throughout most of the region, we're seeing upper 50s. We didn't break 60 degrees today. It didn't get quite as warm as it did yesterday, but we are going to see a temperature drop throughout most of this week. It's going to be a gradual dip, so we're not going to see it right away, but if we take a look at my next map, I can see that with the cooler temperatures, we're going to have some rain working its way in. This is a current map, and this storm system, as you can see, is moving its way into our region, and won't quite be storm. By the time it reaches us, it'll just be some lighter rain, and we're going to see that middle of the week, but it's nothing really to worry about. And regional temperatures if we take a look at this map, we can see regional temperatures at a 12-hour span. This is going to be about 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. 12 hours from now, we're going to see upper 30s and lower 40s. Purple stands for about 40-degree range, and 30 is going to be blue. And you can see that right here. We're going to be seeing some much cooler mornings than we are used to over the past couple of weeks. Meanwhile, though, tonight the temperature is 31 degrees for our overnight low, with the winds from the north at 8 miles an hour. Going to be mostly clear throughout the night, and tomorrow we're going to see cloudy skies and a high of 52. Like I said, upper 50 is going to be the trend for the week, and tomorrow night the overnight low is going to dip down to 32 degrees, just breaking on the fringe of freezing. And later tomorrow night we're going to see perfectly clear skies. And if we take a look at our week ahead, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, clouds are going to roll in. Wednesday, about a 10% chance of rain that's going to work its way up to 50 on Thursday. Like I said, that's light rain all across the region. Friday, 40% chance of rain, and on Saturday, the rain will have moved out, but we're going to see a significant cool down with a high of about 40 degrees. I was really surprised when I saw that on the map there, but 40 degrees is our high on Saturday, and we may even see some snow showers early next week.
So after all that rain, we can finally be expecting a little relief from that?
A little relief for the most of this week. It's going to get chilly this weekend and maybe even early next week, but that should also be out of our hair after a day or two.
Okay, thank you, Loretto.
Of course.
The women's basketball team starts a 5-game road trip tonight in Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Matt Ferguson has more with Saluki Sports.
We check in with the Saluki football team to see how they did this last Saturday
And we also check in on the men's team. They had a close battle with the SLU Billikens on Saturday. All that and more just after the break.
On today's Community Dateline, an American Red Cross blood drive is on Wednesday from 11:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. at the Donation Center in Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Spring into action and give hope by giving blood. For more information, call 314-630-2036. The Holiday Lighted Parade takes place this Friday at 7 p.m. beginning on East South 6th Street in Redbud. The parade then follows South Main Street to the town square. For more information, call 618-282-2315. White County Christmas happens this Friday and Saturday in downtown Carmi. The traditional lighting of the tree happens Friday. Saturday hosts the Reindeer Run Walk, reindeer games for children, a craft show, lunch, and more. For more information, call 618-382-7606 or log on to thetourismbureau.org. An American Red Cross blood drive is on Thursday from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. at the Blood Donation Center in Paducah, Kentucky. Donate blood and help save a life. For more information, call 270-442-9141. If you have an item of community interest, please send your mail or email 2 weeks in advance to the address on your screen.
And now the latest scores and highlights from across the River region. This is Evening Edition Sports.
Last Saturday could be the last time the Saluki football team takes the field in front of the home crowd. They face the Illinois State Redbirds in a fight to keep their postseason hopes alive. The game did not start off well, however, for freshman quarterback Ryan West, as this pass goes for an interception to Dante McCord, and he takes it the length of the field all the way for a touchdown, giving the Redbirds an early 7-0 lead over the Salukis. But the Salukis were not done as Ken Malcolm takes the handoff and powers his way into the end zone, giving the Salukis a late 24-17 lead and eventually the win. Despite the win over the Redbirds, the coach Lennon said that his team can't get comfortable going into this week's final game.
Be ready for a battle. That's my message to the team. You don't look at the record. This is the team that beat us last year. This is the team that kept us out of the playoffs last year. A lot of those players are still playing, so we got to be ready to play a good game.
The Salukis will finish their season this Saturday as they travel to Terre Haute to face the Indiana State. As the football team season starts to wind down, the men's basketball season is just starting up as they face the St. Louis Billikens on Saturday night. The Salukis started the game off right with this alley-oop play that set up Radesmar Jackson. He led the Salukis in scoring on the night with his 19 points. Last chance for the Salukis came later on in the game. The inbound is back to Jackson, but it's stolen away, tipped, goes the length of the court, and eventually out of bounds. That would seal the game for the Billikens, 76-67. Coach Barry Hinton.
We played our tails off. We don't play real smart, but I think a lot of that has to do with the maturation process. And I think the more mature we are, the better we'll be. I wish I could speed it up. It's not like we can throw them in the microwave and speed up maturation. It just doesn't work that way. So you only do that by playing and gaining experience.
The men will be back in action tomorrow night against Austin Peay. And here's a look at the other Saluki sports over the weekend. The cross-country team were in NCAA regional play on Friday. The women finished fourth, their highest placing in school history. The men had a bit of a disappointing meet, though, finishing 11th overall. And on to women's volleyball, where they had a clean sweep over the Evansville Purple Aces on Friday night. Jessica Whitehead led the way in kills on the game. And Ellie Broughton also had 11 of her own. Their final home game is this Friday and Saturday at Davies Gym. But tipping off in under an hour are the women's basketball team as they face IPFW in Fort Wayne, Indiana. The last time these two teams met, the Macedon guard Amanda Hyde had a monstrous game, scoring 43 points in their win over the Salukis. This season, she leads her team in points, steals, and assists. She will have to keep up with the Salukis' Cartasia Macklin, who is 7th in the conference in scoring. The game begins a 5-game road trip for the Salukis that ends December 4th against SEMO.
Okay, so volleyball has 2 more games left, you said. So how are they looking?
They're looking pretty good. They're riding a nice winning streak right now. Ellie Broughton had an amazing game. She had like about a 75 kill percentage in her last game. I mean, whenever you obviously have Whitehead and being spelled by Taylor Pippin, I mean, that's a strong front line, and they're just looking like a solid team right now.
Good. It's good to hear. Thank you.
We'll look at the 5-day forecast when we come back.
We'll be back in 90 seconds.
Next time on The African Americans, a change is going to come.
We had one thing in mind, and that was challenging bigotry and Jim Crow. We saw through that.
I heard somebody say it once that when Rosa Parks sat down, black people stood up.
I said, my God, if we work together, we can break these barriers down.
The African Americans, Many Rivers to Cross.
Tuesday at 7.
Next time on Frontline, he was a lost soul.
He believed violence was the only effective tool.
On a political mission.
He wanted to bring about a new world order.
President Kennedy's been cut down by assassins' bullets.
Did Lee Harvey Oswald act alone, or was he part of a vast conspiracy?
I'm just a patsy.
On the 50th anniversary, Frontline's definitive film, Who Was Lee Harvey Oswald?
Tuesday at 9.
There is a lot of drama in store for the Crawley family, their servants, and many exciting new characters in Season 4. Just you wait and see. Please join me, Susan Sarandon, for a loving look back at Seasons 1, 2, and 3, and a sneak peek at Season 4.
Something to look forward to.
And return to Downton Abbey.
Here are some of the stories that are making news in the days ahead. We'll keep you updated as communities start to rebuild after scores of tornadoes swept through the Midwest. And we'll report on the observances in Southern Illinois and the nation on the 50th anniversary of President Kennedy's death. Join us Monday through Thursday at 5 for River Region Evening Edition, honored by the Illinois News Broadcasters Association as the best student-produced newscast and sportscast in Illinois.
This could be a recipe for a Thanksgiving Day disaster for some Butterball fans. There is a shortage of large, fresh Butterball turkeys this year. It's all because of some farmer who supply Butterball couldn't get their turkeys to plump up sufficiently. So fresh ones over 16 pounds might be in short supply. But don't panic, there are still plenty of frozen turkeys from Butterball, as well as fresh birds from other producers available as well for your roasting pleasure. Butterball produces around 1.3 billion pounds of turkey meat a year and 20% of the United States turkey. All right, Loretto, can we get another look at our 5-day forecast?
Sure we can, even though I'm hungry now. Taking a look at our 5-day forecast, we can see on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we're going to see temperatures in the 50-degree range. On Thursday, we're going to see a chance of showers at about 50%. Friday, it's going to bump down to about 40%. And on Saturday, the rain's going to be out of our hair, but we are going to see a significant cool down. And even into parts of next week, there is talk of even a little bit of snowfall, perhaps on Tuesday, but that cool down should be out of the way later on next week.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Loretto. And thank you for joining us tonight. Follow us on Facebook at River Region News. I'm Zach Barrett.
And I'm Taylor Burrell. For Loretta Cruz and Matt Ferguson and more than 100 students who work on Evening Edition, good night.
River Region Evening Edition is made possible through the membership support of viewers like you, with additional support from Country Insurance and Financial Services and WSIL TV3.